This video contains AI-generated narration and visuals. It is intended for educational and storytelling purposes only.
It was a chilly Saturday night on Stanford University's campus. Students gathered for an off-campus fraternity party at Kappa Alpha, enjoying drinks and music. Among them was 19-year-old freshman Brock Turner, a promising swimmer with Olympic dreams. Also attending was a 22-year-old woman, later known to the world as Emily Doe, who accompanied her sister for a fun night out, completely unaware that this evening would change her life forever. Later that night, two Swedish graduate students riding their bikes through campus noticed something alarming behind a dumpster. They saw a man thrusting over an unconscious woman's half-naked body. Horrified, they immediately intervened. The man tried to flee, but they tackled and restrained him until police arrived. That man was Brock Turner. The woman, still unconscious, had no idea what had just happened to her. Emily Doe woke up in a hospital room with no memory of the assault. Her body was scraped, her hair matted with pine needles, and her underwear missing. A nurse gently explained she had been found unconscious behind a dumpster. Confused and traumatized, she had to undergo a painful sexual assault forensic exam. The pieces of the night slowly began to fall into place, but not from her own memory. After being caught by eyewitnesses and restrained until police arrived, Brock Turner was arrested that night, charged with multiple felony counts, including rape of an intoxicated person. His mugshot made headlines. The nation would soon learn about the star Stanford swimmer accused of a horrific crime. But this was just the beginning of a legal battle that would test the justice system and public patience. Initially charged with 5 serious felonies, including attempted rape, prosecutors eventually dropped some charges, narrowing the case to 3 felony counts of sexual assault. Emily Doe remained anonymous, while the media focused heavily on Turner's athletic achievements. Critics began accusing the system of protecting privilege, raising questions about race, class, and the treatment of women in sexual assault cases. As the trial approached, Emily Doe did something extraordinary. Though her identity was shielded, she wrote a powerful victim impact statement. In vivid, heartbreaking detail, she described the trauma, humiliation, and emotional wreckage caused by the assault. Her words, read aloud in court, shook the room, and would eventually spark a national reckoning about how survivors are treated in the justice system. In March 2016, after a highly publicized trial, the jury found Brock Turner guilty on 3 felony counts of sexual assault. The decision brought a sense of relief to Emily Doe and her supporters, but also anxiety. What kind of sentence would Turner receive? The world was watching, expecting the justice system to take a firm stand. What happened next would ignite outrage. Despite the felony convictions, Judge Aaron Persky sentenced Brock Turner to just 6 months in county jail, citing his youth and lack of prior record. He would serve only 3. The leniency sparked immediate backlash. Critics argued the sentence prioritized Turner's future over the damage done to Emily Doe. The phrase white privilege echoed across news headlines, and public trust in the legal system took a serious hit. News of the sentence exploded across social media and news outlets. Protesters rallied outside the courthouse, holding signs demanding justice. Survivors and activists shared stories under hashtags like #JusticeForEmilyDoe. The case became a symbol of a broken system, where wealth, race, and connection seemed to matter more than accountability. Judge Persky's decision had not just affected one woman. It had sparked a national movement. Days after the sentencing, Emily Doe's full victim impact statement was published by BuzzFeed. The raw, 7,000-word letter went viral, read by millions around the world. Celebrities, politicians, and everyday people praised her courage. Vice President Joe Biden even wrote her a personal letter. In a sea of silence around sexual assault, her voice rang out with undeniable strength. Public outrage grew beyond social media. Activists launched a campaign to recall Judge Aaron Persky, arguing his sentencing revealed bias and lack of accountability. Petitions gathered thousands of signatures, protests intensified, and the campaign became a test case for judicial accountability in California. It was rare for judges to face removal, but this case had changed everything. Brock Turner was released from jail after serving just 3 months of his 6-month sentence. His brief incarceration and return to civilian life stirred fresh controversy. Many questioned whether justice had truly been served, while others debated his right to privacy and rehabilitation. The case remained a flashpoint in conversations about privilege and the legal system's handling of sexual assault. Following his release, Brock Turner issued a written apology to Emily Doe and the public. Many found his letter lacking genuine remorse, noting its tone seemed detached and self-centered. Critics highlighted that the letter appeared more focused on his own future than on taking full responsibility, further fueling public anger and debate about accountability. The Turner case ignited widespread calls for reform in how sexual assault cases are prosecuted and sentenced across the United States. Lawmakers proposed tougher mandatory minimums, victim rights expansions, and judicial accountability measures. Survivor advocacy groups gained momentum, pushing for changes to protect victims and close loopholes that allowed lenient sentencing. Emily Doe's courage and the ensuing backlash helped fuel the rise of survivor advocacy movements nationwide. Organizations increased efforts to support victims, raise awareness, and lobby for legal change. The case became a rallying cry, inspiring many survivors to speak out and demand a culture that believes and protects them. The scandal rocked Stanford's elite swimming community. Some teammates expressed shock and disappointment, struggling to reconcile the image of their friend and athlete with the brutal reality. The university faced pressure to address campus sexual assault culture, pushing for educational programs and stricter policies to prevent future incidents. Brock Turner's promising athletic career was effectively over. Following the conviction and public outrage, sponsors distanced themselves, and Stanford suspended him from the team. His reputation shattered. Turner faded from public view, a stark example of how actions carry consequences far beyond the courtroom. In response to public pressure from cases like Turner's, California lawmakers passed Senate Bill 813 in 2016, expanding the statute of limitations for prosecuting certain sexual assaults. The legislation aimed to give victims more time to come forward and ensure justice could be served even years after an assault, marking a significant shift in state policy. The Brock Turner case became a catalyst in the broader #MeToo movement and discussions about consent, privilege, and justice in America. Universities nationwide reevaluated policies on sexual assault, while society grappled with changing attitudes toward survivors and perpetrators. The case's lasting impact remains a complex chapter in the fight for equality. The Brock Turner case reminds us how vital it is to listen to survivors, demand accountability, and keep fighting for justice. Change begins with awareness and courage to speak out. If you or someone you know has experienced assault, support is available. Together, we can build a safer future. Thank you for watching this detailed look at the Brock Turner case. If you found this story important, please hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated with more real legal stories. This is Real Law Stories, where justice and truth matter. Stay informed and stay empowered.